The Ontario Renter. Today we are going to discuss what are the main fears and concerns of tenants renting today in Ontario. Eviction. Number one fear. Non-payment of rent. If the tenant fails to pay the full amount of rent when it is due, the landlord has a valid reason to evict the tenant. Breach of rental agreement terms. In most cases, eviction occurs after the tenant has breached some rental agreement term, such as damaging property or causing a disturbance. Landlord's own use. A landlord can evict a tenant if they or an immediate family member intends to move into the rental unit. Illegal eviction. Unfortunately, some landlords may try to illegally evict tenants by falsely claiming that they or an immediate family member intends to move into the rental unit. Demolition of the rental unit or home. If the landlord decides to demolish the home or rental unit, this is another valid reason to evict a tenant. Fear of retaliation. Tenants may be reluctant to organize a tenants association due to fear of retaliation, including threats of eviction, by their landlords. Maintenance problems. Tenants may have concerns about housing problems such as cleanliness, property damage, faulty appliances, and pests such as cockroaches and bedbugs. Facing discrimination in rental housing. The Ontario Human Rights Commission, OHRC, provides guidelines on housing discrimination and offers its interpretation of human rights obligations in situations of discrimination in rental housing. The Ontario Human Rights Commission has recognized a power imbalance that exists between landlords and tenants, which can be heightened by gender inequalities, leaving women who depend on rent supplement programs and who live in private housing units vulnerable to threats and harassment from landlords. Rent increases. Tenants may be concerned about rent increases and changes to their lease agreements. The challenge of increasing rents can lead to homelessness. A shortage of rental houses in some areas of Ontario has led to bidding wars and increased rents. Lack of knowledge of legal rights. Tenants may not be aware of their legal rights as tenants, which can leave them vulnerable to exploitation by landlords. These fears are often justified, as landlords may try to take advantage of tenants who are not organized or informed about their rights. However, tenants can take steps to deal with these concerns. For example, tenants can organize a tenants association to advocate for their rights and address housing problems. Tenants can also educate themselves about their legal rights and seek help from community resources, such as housing counseling agencies and rent stabilization boards. Landlord-Tenant Board tenants in Ontario have legal rights and responsibilities under the Residential Tenancies Act, RTA. The Landlord and Tenant Board, LTB, was created to solve disputes between tenants and landlords and provides information about its practices and procedures and the rights and responsibilities of landlords and tenants under the RTA. The Federation of Metro Tenants Associations will support tenants that are interested in receiving information and support to develop a tenant association. Ontario landlords must follow the Residential Tenancies Act, RTA, legal process to evict a tenant. For example, the RTA states that a provision in a tenancy agreement prohibiting the presence of animals in or about the residential complex is void. However, landlords can deal with problems caused by pets through the legal process. Tenants and landlords should discuss their expectations and responsibilities before signing a lease agreement to maintain a good working relationship. Tenants and landlords can seek additional information regarding their rights and responsibilities from a tenant-landlord association or a legal clinic. Tenants can receive support and free advice from community legal services, such as Hamilton Community Legal Services and Willowdale Community Legal Services. The Advocacy Centre for Tenants Ontario, ACTO, works for safe, well-maintained, secure, and affordable housing for all Ontarians. They provide information and resources on tenant rights and community organizing. Landlord Self-Help Centre offers information, resources, and learning tools addressing topics related to residential tenancies and rental relationships in Ontario.